Hey, I'm John Ditloff. In this video, I'm going to be sharing the best gym exercises to increase testosterone naturally. Who am I to talk about this? Well, I have 1,500 nanograms per deciliter of testosterone 100% naturally. I fixed my delayed puberty by doing so and put on 50 pounds of muscle in less than 3 years 100% naturally. Now, so I know what I'm talking about. And first up on the list is going to be being a science-based lifter. That is going to go in F tier. The last thing you want to do is be a science-based lifter. All these kids who are doing these crazy, like, weird new exercises where they're like optimizing line of pull. Not that line of pull doesn't have any efficacy, but where you're strapping certain body parts to the machine. No, go do some pull-ups. Go do some pull-ups. You might get a better contraction. Whatever. Do the hard things that people have been doing for a long time. Hard things make strong men. If you want to have higher testosterone, do harder stuff. Now, what you absolutely want to do is be a real science-based lifter, which means lifting your butt off. It means working really, really hard, like Sam Sulik. You don't have to be science-based. You don't have to think like optimal this, optimal that. What you have to do is work really, really hard and focus on adding weight every time you go in the gym. Focus on your recovery and your nutrition so you get stronger. That mindset alone of taking care of your fitness, your nutrition, your sleep, being a meathead athlete who's not drinking, like a locked-in guy, that'll help you have higher testosterone. Now, if we're actually talking about exercises you want to do, then you're actually going to want to do the exercises that most people are too scared to do, right? You're not going to get higher testosterone by doing stuff like this guy over here. You want to be doing squats. Now, what is this? This is amazing. This is Clarence Kennedy doing a high bar ATG squat, ass to grass. I believe this is a little bit over 600 pounds, and he's just eating it down there. And so if you want higher testosterone, high bar ATG, heavy squats is a good way to go. Now, and something like right up there with heavy squats is going to be heavy deadlifts. Now, do you need to have a 500 kg deadlift like Eddie Hall that almost kills you? No, you don't. But you should be deadlifting. You should have a strong back, strong traps, strong glutes. Start deadlifting. It'll help you have higher testosterone. Now, there's an exercise that there's actually a whole group of people that you really don't want to even associate with, and that's people who use kettlebells. If you're using kettlebells in place of machines or barbells or free weights because you think it makes you more functionally strong, you're just decreasing your testosterone. You're asking to be weaker, and honestly, you're worse off for it. Function, it like in life, really comes down to your skills, and the gym should just be about increasing coordination and strength. And if you want to be more functional, like actually learn to do something. Like you're functional. Being functional is entirely task specific. So, it's more functional to practice swimming to be functional. Like swimming is more functional to be better at swimming than kettlebells. But everybody likes to be like, oh no, this is what like the Soviets do. No, guys, like get bigger and stronger and more coordinated, and then practice whatever you want to get good at. But what you absolutely do want to be doing, and this is critical, and it's often not even talked about, is pull-ups, weighted pull-ups. One of the best back development exercises out there, perhaps the best. It's a vertical pulling exercise, so make sure you grow those nice, thick lats that make you look like you're a bat. Who doesn't want to look like a bat? Don't you want to be able to fly away from your enemies or towards your enemies? Don't you want to be able to fly towards your enemies? Imagine your enemies approach you on horseback, only to see you flying at them with your massive lats. So it's a wonderful exercise for having higher testosterone and building muscle. So do pull-ups, do weighted pull-ups, get really good at them, get really strong at them. And another one that goes completely unnoticed is going to be wrestling. Wrestling is one of the most alpha, high testosterone activities you could do. You're going neck and neck, fist to fist, face to face, chest to chest with another man, grabbing him, slamming him on the ground, picking him up, throwing yourself on top of him, trying to dominate him, right? Intense competition, intense dominance, intense desire to win. Wrestling will help you have higher testosterone. Nothing will forge the high testosterone mindset like wrestling and trying to win at it. Another amazing, fantastic exercise is going to simply just be this one. Now, I didn't want to bring this in here because it's every guy's favorite exercise most of the time. But the bench press is a fantastic exercise to gauge your strength. And if you want higher testosterone, there's very, very few exercises that are as good as bench press for mechanical tension, creating strength. The benchers just have a certain look. So if you want higher testosterone, start benching, start squatting. There's more exercises, of course. We can't forget about the other SSS tier exercises. Of course, I would say running, long distance running, it's about an S rank. Like, you need to be doing low intensity steady state cardio for sure. If you don't have a good VO2 max, then like you can't really have good health. Everything, your aerobic health underpins everything else. So practice some longer bouts of cardio. You don't have to be Kipchoge, but you do need to be, cardio choge, and like be able to have an elevated heart rate for at least 20 minutes without collapsing. So start doing some cardio. Now, another goated one is going to be sprints. Do you know who this is? This is I think it's Usain Bolt. But sprinting is an amazing exercise for your entire body. It's going to be like a top anti-aging exercise. Requires maximal coordination, power, agility, and ultimately helps increase testosterone. You are firing on all cylinders when you sprint. So do sprinting. Another F tier exercise is going to be anything on a Bosu ball. If you're doing push-ups on a Bosu ball to build horizontal pushing strength, because it requires more stability. If you're squatting on a Bosu ball, because it means you need to be better at balancing or whatever, but you're trying to build your quads, like, you're much better off actually like just squatting or benching. You want to like reduce the other variables when it comes to accomplishing a task, as many of the other variables when it comes to accomplishing a task other than the ones you're trying to isolate or improve as possible. So if you're trying to grow your quads or get a stronger jump, this is a pretty subpar. It's actually one of the worst options. Never do this. Never, ever touch a kettlebell. Never do this. Never step on a Bosu ball. Ever. I don't ever want to see you do that. Now, right up there is going to be gymnastics. Gymnastics, iron cross stuff. You see these gymnasts who are tumbling through the air. They're pretty amazing. Now, it's not a must to increase your testosterone. That's going to come more from heavy compounds. But if you want to be really, really like kick-ass and be able to do cool stuff, you got to do some gymnastics. There's nothing pretty much nothing as cool as being able to like twist and flip through the air like you're a superhero. But that's part of the high testosterone lifestyle, and man, it's not necessarily going to drive your testosterone like these exercises right here. So it's great, and you should do it. But these are very, very important. And right up there will be this bad boy. This is Dylan Shannon. I don't know if you guys know him. Doing a dip with like 5 plates. Weighted dips, weighted pull-ups are goated exercise for increasing your testosterone, for growing muscle, for turning you into a muscle-bound freak with high energy levels. Macho strength. Be doing dips. That's what I'm getting to. Curls. Not an absolute necessity, but definitely makes you look good when your shirt's on, and off. So do curls, but they're not as important as these fundamental ones. This is Kuroshichev. You need to be doing bicep curls. But if you don't do them, it's not going to ruin your testosterone, but you really should be doing it. That's what this means. Now, again, there are certain exercises that are just goated, and if you only do these, you will have amazingly high testosterone. And one of them is going to be working on your core strength. So that's things like dragon flags. Another one will be, let's see, I think I had side bends in here. Do you guys see it? I don't see it, and I put this together. Oh, this is back extensions. That's going to be SS tier. Back extensions are amazing. If you want to like be a high testosterone man, if you want to increase your testosterone, working out your back is super important. Everybody likes to be a glass back nowadays. Afraid, oh, my spine hurts when I do this. My back. Okay. Right? Do you complain when your biceps, your chest get sore? No. Right? Having a strong back is really good for increasing testosterone. So is side bends, back extensions, and dragon flags. So like work your entire core. Work on your ability to connect your brain to your lower body and transfer force as effectively as possible through your spine, and you will have much higher testosterone. Another, actually really good one, but not essential, is going to be, actually, these are much higher than upright rows, but upright rows are amazing for your shoulders. They're amazing for your traps. You should be doing upright rows. Now, they don't take precedence over these exercises, but you should still have them in your program sometimes. But something that is absolutely a complete and utter waste of time that I never want to see you doing is going to be TRX anything. TRX rows, TRX ab training, TRX blah, blah, blah. It's a waste of time. It's for the old people who can't balance. That's who TRX is for. You want to be an old person who can't balance? There's nothing you can get out of TRX that you can't get a better stimulus from when it comes to like weight training or something else, right? Okay, I want to like get better at, like Y's and T's. Well, like use a dumbbell, right? Like that's going to be so much better than using a TRX where you have to be coordinated with the entirety of your body. I mean, if you're training coordination, possibly, but you could do that much more easily without that. If you're training your rear just don't use a TRX. I'm getting too logical, Jesus. Now another, oh man, this makes me, it's probably my favorite exercise, will be strict pressing. I feel like strict pressing is just the most like high testosterone. Strict pressing is the most high testosterone exercise in the gym. Everybody likes to say it's squats or it's deadlifts, and while those are amazing, there's something about doing an overhead press and pressing something over your head from standing that develops strength like nothing else. Deadlifts and squats are up there with it, but I would put overhead press above bench press every single day for higher testosterone. The trap development, the upper chest development, the deltoid development is literally unmatched by any other exercise in the gym. So make sure you're doing overhead pressing, and I would even prioritize that over bench press. Now, another amazing high testosterone exercise is going to be RDLs. RDLs are amazing for your hamstrings, your glutes, but really like they target the muscles in such a beautiful way that it is impossible to not have high testosterone when you're doing RDLs. Now, but the only reason they're not at SSS tier is because you're kind of doing like a glute spread, and that's a little sus. So it's automatically taken down a notch. And then of course we're gonna have to go back to F tier. Anything Joel Seedman puts out. This guy has a PhD, but thinks that you're going to damage your body by bending your joints past 90 degrees. He because he has a PhD, he recruits really good athletes, and then he can get them results because if you have really good genetics, you can basically get results with anything, right? But if someone told you that you could only bend all your joints to 90 degrees for the rest of your life, like, you wouldn't be functional at all. You'd be way too neurotic. There's no athlete who actually does that and is better off for it. So he's just an F tier. Never, ever do the 90-90. Don't do this. Do not make that a part of your, no, stop. Now, we're going to go to lateral raises. Lateral raises are, actually, I'm going to put lateral raises up here. Not because they directly increase testosterone, but because they help you fill out the side of your shoulders. This is Shane Hunt. And just develop a better, thicker, well-rounded physique. So, actually, if you span lateral raises and overhead press, you are going to look like a dense, high testosterone freak. And of course, we care about Ilya Ilyin doing his, 246 clean and jerk. Wow. Wow. If you do the Olympic lifts, so that's cleaning, jerking, and snatching, you are going to have higher testosterone. You're recruiting your whole body in violent, quick, powerful movements that demand your body produce more testosterone, with a high demand on your traps and your delts and your quads, all these androgen, like, receptor dense areas. Of course you're going to have higher testosterone. There's no way your testosterone doesn't increase by being an Olympic weightlifter. Of course. You need to be doing cleans and snatches. And then we have Sebum doing lunges. I would say lunges are SS tier. Like, you need them in your program. You get some unilateral work, but they're not as good as squats or deads. But if you want thick quads and glutes, you got to be doing some lunging. So something about the stimulus you get from those that make you look like you're popping out of your shorts. So be doing lunges. Be doing some single leg work. And then if I ever see you doing anything on a stability ball, and you're not like a grandma warming up, or like an athlete doing like some like quick sit up type things, or some like crazy specific thing, and you're trying to do squats on it, you're trying to do push-ups on it, like you better never ever come around me ever again. This is no. Okay. Neck training. Okay, so is it better for your testosterone than perhaps a good VO2 max? No, but having a thick neck, making it look like your head is just like a thumb, is just so cool that it has to go higher on the list. Now, another great one is in SSS tier is going to be MMA sports. So outside of wrestling, like any sort of fighting sport where you're competing with other men, going head to head in intense competition, amazing for your testosterone. Do it regularly. Calf raises. You need to be doing them. Everybody looks better with a thick pair of calves following them when they walk. So, and you know, the more force you can put in the ground through your calves, the more force your brain can put out. So the higher testosterone is going to be, because it helps you become stronger. And how could you be as strong as you can be if you can't put out as much force in the ground as you possibly can? You can't. So train your calves. You need thick, like fat person calves. You ever seen the calves in a fat person? Amazing. I mean, I've thought about gaining like 100 pounds just to develop my calves like they do. It's just free training at that point. Oh yeah, more core training, GHD sit-ups. Actually, I would say that's kind of like the ultimate core exercise. I'd still work. Actually, this is way harder. Make sure you're doing some GHD sit-ups. There's a reason that CrossFitters have crazy developed six-packs. They're just spamming these sit-ups. And if you're connected to your core, you're more connected to your body. Your body's going to be able to get stronger, so you're going to have higher testosterone. And then, of course, oh man, this is right up there with strict pressing. Oh man, push pressing. Right? Every day, I will tell people to push press. It's athletic, requires coordination, strength, speed, power. It's a beautiful movement that grows the traps, the delts, the tris, the masculine muscles. And the bigger you make those, the more androgen receptors you're going to have. The more rich your testosterones are going to be. Sorry, the more testosterone rich your muscles are going to be. So you need to be doing vertical pressing. You need to be push pressing and strict pressing. Now. Hamstring curls. You need to be doing hamstring curls. They are so good for you. Having nice developed thick hammies following you around is perfect for higher testosterone. Anything that works with your legs, your back, your core, your coordination, and ties in your overall strength together better, like, wow, that's amazing. And I would say that, wow, if I ever catch you listening to Aaron Horschig, he's an F tier. F. I'm saying this because I went and saw him, and he was nice, but he didn't help me. No, and the advice he gave me actually made me much worse and hurt me. So, F tier. The dude's like 165 pounds after, I don't know, like a lifetime of training. Guys, do not listen to this guy. He does not know what he's talking about in biomechanics or strength training. So, beware. Now, another F tier exercise is going to be any of those complexes. Oh my God. If you are doing deadlift to clean to front squat to bicep curl to overhead press to then back squat, you're not really getting a good stimulus on any of them. If you can do RDLs with your bicep curl, and that's a challenging weight for both, like either you're just got a super weak RDL and massive biceps, or you're not going to get enough of a stimulus. There's just no way. There's no way you ever get the stimulus you need from a bicep curl weight that's effective in an RDL. You don't. It doesn't make sense. At that point, people are just participating in the thought that training is just training. Like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna go to the gym and kind of like mess around. At that point, oh, it burns. Oh, it exhausts me. So it must be creating adaptations. That's just working out. That's not actually training. So anytime you get a CrossFit coach or like a circuit coach telling you to we're gonna do bicep curl, we're gonna do deadlifts, and then we're gonna do cleans, And then once it's up, we're going to do squats, and then we're going to do curls, right? Should you be able to curl, like if it's an effective dose or training stimulus for your deadlift or your clean, you shouldn't be able to bicep curl it. And then you definitely shouldn't be able to like overhead press it, put it on your back and squat. There's like there's a difference between training and working out. So make sure that you're not doing complexes, because you're not going to get like your testosterone's low if you do that. Now, oh man, tricep push downs. Probably an S tier exercise. You can get a lot of tricep development out of just doing some heavy pressing, but if you can milk tricep push downs, wowie, are you going to be looking good? Are you going to have higher testosterone? Oh, wow, rows. Training the traps. Did I put more? Oh man, I guess I didn't put the actual shrugs in here. But if you're training your traps with rows and shrugs, you're going to have higher testosterone. You have more androgen receptors to uptake more testosterone. You're going to be even more of a thick, dense, high testosterone freak. And of course, we're going to actually put, you know what? We're actually going to put Jefferson curls at SS tier. Just because they can't be loaded as much as the exercises up in SSS tier. But if you can bend your entire spine and pull massive loads from those crazy lengthened positions, you're formidable. You're going to develop the thickest, girthiest back that's ever been seen on Earth, probably. You're going to be absolutely phenomenal. You're going to have crazy high testosterone. And then, of course, we need to work on our adductors. Now, I'm a big fan of being in an extended position with fully lengthened adductors when we train them. And Copenhagen side planks just do that. You don't want to just hold them. You want to basically be like doing like a scissor motion with your legs. And you can progress it by adding like weight on your hip, essentially. But these take a while to get good at, so be careful. Now, another amazing high testosterone activity is going to be spear hunting. Now, anything that forces you to become stronger for the sake of survival and replication, whether it's hard training, competition with other men, or hunting for food, especially hunting with your hands and a singular weapon, is going to be so effective at increasing your testosterone. If you have to go hunt an animal and all you have is a spear, your testosterone is going to go way up. So, start spear hunting all your food. And of course, we have the pump. If you're going to the gym and you're just getting a pump, yeah, you're probably not going to make it. You know, like that should just come as a result of good training. But if you're just in there like trying to get a bunch of, I don't know, you just kind of like spin your wheels. You're just trying to burn out your muscles. No, it's like an E rank exercise. It's not as bad as any of these because Arnold did it. So how could it be an F tier exercise? If Arnold went and got a pump, I can never be F. All right, and then of course we have flies. I don't do them, so I can't say actually. But we have, oh god, this guy, Natty Aguilar. Fictional fitness is what we call it. Fictional patterns. The guy who's built like a stick of string cheese and promotes pseudoscience to everyone and can't produce like changes in his athletes other than getting them to stand slightly differently. Pretty much one of the biggest scammers in the industry. If you do his stuff, you're low testosterone. Don't worry about your fascia. Just move and get strong and coordinated. And then we have Kelly Starrett. I would put him at Z tier if I could. All that advice that he gave this guy, Aaron Horschig, and everyone else about squeezing your ass and pushing your knees out, literally did so much damage to my hips, and I'm still working through it. If you're always clenching your glutes, they can't lengthen. And you need them to lengthen in order to actually like hinge and squat or do anything athletic. And thinking that always squeezing your butt cheeks is going to fix your movement is the dumbest possible thing of all time. And then we have parkour, which is going to be SSS tier because you're basically like on the run in the wild, doing crazy athletic stuff, pursuing a goal. So high testosterone there. And then of course we have rock climbing. That's like an X tier exercise. Requires crazy coordination, strength, endurance. Very good exercise. Crazy grip strength. If you can build your grip strength, very good for having high testosterone. Now, Athlete X. I'm going to put him at E tier. Like, actually pretty... If you're following Athlete X's advice, the guy's been training for like 45 years. He's probably on gear, and he's not that big, not that strong. He's just lean. If you follow his advice, you'll probably get better results than listening to Aaron Horschig. But you're not going to get the best results. Now, where would I put flies if I could? I don't do them, and I don't really talk about things I don't know about. Oh my God, did it put it there for me? I didn't decide that. Now, I'm just going to put it at S tier because Arnold did it. You happy? Yeah, me too. All right, now that we've gotten that, actually, I'm going to put it S tier because actually training like shoulder adduction is important. I don't know why I didn't say that. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, if you have any comments or questions, make sure to leave them down below. If you want coaching, if you want help having higher testosterone, want help putting on muscle, I do fitness coaching, nutrition coaching, sleep coaching, mindset coaching, all in one in my coaching. Just shoot me a link, or sorry, shoot me a text or like a DM on Instagram or on TikTok, and I will be happy to get back to you and help you out. And if you want to book a consultation call, there's a link down below. But remember, my friend, if you ever feel like life is not enough, remember that there are people who laid down their lives for you to be here. And every single one of them would love to be where you're at right now, watching videos on a screen. And we owe it to our ancestors and the people who worked to get us to where we are today to be grateful every single day of our lives that we get to live this amazing life. Work hard, have fun, do your best. Thank you, and good night. Subscribe.